What identities, values, and messages do we share through contribution?
I think that for me, when I go to festivals with people, it's like people who I never would talk to at school normally. I get along with them at festivals because everyone's on the same wavelength, sort of, regardless of anything else that's going on. And people bond over having the same like music taste. Like there's people I see at concerts at the Jefferson that I know I'll always see when I go there.
And people being able to get out of a situation, a bad situation, by using pop music to get there. So a lot of these artists in Atlanta, that's what they've done. And now they're pushing, they don't need a record label to do it.
Really heartfelt and talking about like love and like something that relates to your life, or like you can find relations to it. I think a lot of songs will, like my favorite songs I've connected with because of some, like I've made a connection through my life.
I think popular music has the ability to change, I guess, society's values and norms probably better than anything else. Certain lifestyles or habits or things or values, then that gets reflected upon by the people listening to that music.
You share certain like feelings, so like music has a certain ability to put you in moods. Like there's sort of that angsty teen like Blink-182 music that a lot of people listen to. I enjoy, but it sort of plays on my never want to grow up type attitude. Air to Compton coming out, NWA was sort of trying to use music to bring about change in the way that like lower socioeconomic groups are being treated, and allows people to really have a larger voice than they otherwise would through being talented.
So what is the role of authenticity in popular music? This is like considering sampling, remixing and stuff.
I think I really like songs that have been remixed or taken like from, like that's not the original, kind of like puts their own spin on it. A lot of music is being changed to like suit today's like the trends now. I mean, I think it does mean a lot more if the artist has written the song or like has made it themselves. That just adds like makes the artist better, and like I feel like a lot of people will value this like the music better or more.
I think the best music is made when it's genuine and authentic. But yeah, I think authenticity is, is super important for like defining like periods of popular music, but I wouldn't say that all popular music has been authentic.
Good music is stuff that has like a genuine feel, and I sort of think about the lasting nature of good music in terms of like sampling for rap or something. I think that really unique pieces can come from that, because you grab sort of the soul of the original work and then you sort of apply a new message to it.
I saw Freeze McGee play Eminence Front, which was like one of my favorite songs ever, and it was sick. Like I'm not like comparing it to like what it was, but it's like my favorite band covering someone else. So I think that, I don't know, for me shows that they're even more talented when they're like able to cover a song that well and have people love it, because that's the songs they remember too.
Not a lot of musicians in the pop realm are writing their music all the time, and that goes back as well. You look back at Motown days and doo-wop days, not always the star was writing all the music. there's a composer behind it that has fallen into the producer a lot of ways now, and even with DJs and stuff like that, creating these beats, writing the songs. You have a few artists like Taylor Swift who, write their music. Are they writing every instrument? No. They'll write something on guitar, they'll write a melody, they'll write a hook, but there's a whole band of musicians behind them, really bringing this music to the forefront. Major artists and stuff like that have, they buy songs, they have songs written for them. So sampling comes into effect too, especially now in all types of music, mainly in the hip hop sense. That's where it really came into, especially in the 90s, where samples were really being driven in like that. I think it's authentic. I think there's a complete authenticity behind it because you're creating something different, based off something that's already been done before. Well, if you put your own twist on it, then it's yours. And I think that makes something authentic. Stuff like the Blueprint for Jay-Z, that's what blew him up. That phenomenal sampling that brought in so many different aspects of different kinds of music that got people hooked. And you get people like Daft Punk wanting to work with Kanye West because they're thinking like, that's authentic. This guy's taking the type of music that nobody in his realm is listening to, putting it in and making it accessible to everybody.
When does music become unpopular? Like if it's in advertising or there's product endorsement and stuff, does that compromise integrity, and is that important in popular music?
So for me, like, I had a bunch of friends go to Bonnaroo when I was in high school, and I've been going to like local festivals and stuff since I was like 16, since I could drive. But I always thought, I thought Bonnaroo was cool until like the mainstream artists started going there. So when they got like, what's it called? That, the guy with the tattoo sleeves sings like Maroon 5. They went, and I was like, all right, I'm not fucking going. That ruined the festival for me. And like you get that crowd of people also who are so into mainstream music, and it just like ruins it for the rest of us who are just there for like A, a good low-key time, and B, like, I don't know. Just I'm not there to like say I went to a Maroon 5 show. You know what I mean? It's just different. So I think that, I don't know, getting a lot of publicity can ruin a band.
The music industry has always been sensitive to this whole idea of copying out and like selling out and whatnot. Eminem, up until like I guess like Recovery and Relapse was an instance of that. Just someone who sort of stayed real. And there are a lot of good artists that end up nameless, who like never end up really making a buck. But I think that there's kind of nobility in that, and I have huge respect for that.
And if you're trying to make ends meet, and an auto company, Chevrolet wants to come buy your song and do a commercial with it and play it and give you, you can make millions of dollars that way. Does that lose the integrity of the music? If you're trying to feed your kids and pay your bills, I would definitely say not. Things can lose integrity by being overplayed on radio stations, and big record labels get in with the radio stations. Some money comes through in certain ways or certain aspects. A song gets played a certain amount of times, it gets repeated. There's a lot of not intentionally sponsored content, but sponsoring content. How many times do certain things, you see it with country music as well. Even, I guess all pop music too, somebody referencing, a type of alcohol, or a type of food, or a type of plane, or a type of car.
I don't know, I feel like songs will have like a 3-month period of like at their height, and then there's a period where you like don't want to listen to it, and then you can come back to it. I think just people get bored, or like at some point it just gets overplayed. I think like 3 months makes sense, but it just reaches a place of like it's been overplayed and people are ready for something else.
What makes music popular, in your opinion? What's good music to you?
Good music to me is like, I don't know. First of all, a band that you don't hear everyone and their mother talking about. A band you don't hear on the radio all the time. Like, there are bands that are famous, like Widespread Panic, Fish, Humphreys McGee, like, so many good people who no one's really heard of, but the people who do listen to them are such loyal fans. Like that. You don't hear people being like, oh yeah, like, I saw Jay-Z like 50 times. Like, you don't see that, because their music doesn't change. They play the same song, and like, it's the same song you hear on the radio, and it sounds the same, like Katy Perry, like Taylor Swift, like.
Popular music can, be slow or it can be fast, but there's certain BPMs that sink in with people that kind of, are easy rhythmically to like jump into. The other is pop culture, who's kind of tapping into what's going on, verbiage and stuff like that, who's creating the next YOLO, who's creating the next thing to say, thing to do, the next dance. I mean, sometimes the song isn't that great, but the dance catches on so much that people, at the end of the day, if you have quality composition and orchestration with quality musicians, you're more likely to get a hit song or a pop song, in a sense. Sometimes people just randomly write one great song. It's nothing like anything else they've ever written or anything like that. Boom, they're a pop music star in a sense for one song. They try to write everything else like it. It's terrible. I would say right now, though, the rhythm is really what gets people in. I think these days, rhythm really is where people are finding it. Before it was more of a connection with lyricism, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. People had a deep connection with, the lyrics and trying to be about it. And I mean, you'll get it NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and stuff like that. I mean, those songs were cookie cutter. I think that's a big way to create a popular song, is to connect with the listener. And if you can connect with the listener, or with the people you're trying to get to, then you'll have a popular song. Miley Cyrus kind of changed things, where shock value was her whole image and what she was pushing, and that what drove her popularity was the shock value. What's she gonna do next? What's she gonna say next? What's she gonna wear next? What's she gonna say in a song? How's she gonna do it? That shock value now is kind of worn off. It's lackluster, and which is great. You go back to the authenticity of the music, the integrity of the music, of it actually being about the music.
It is, playing into the trends of the time, that common sentiment that you can throw together a pretty easy track via a formula and end up on the top 100. Then you get that sort of tingly feeling in your spine, when you sit into a warm tub when you're cold. It's a warm feeling that goes up your spine into your brain, and it's when you pick the right song, you just get the chills kind of. And I think that doesn't necessarily have to be a good song. Timeless ability to incite or fill moods is sort of what I would say brings about the popularity of music.
I mean, I think popular music is the music that you could reference, and then more often than not, people would understand what you're talking about.
It's music that everyone can bond, connect to. So usually just at a party, the DJ, being a DJ is hard because you have to cater to everyone, and there's everyone listens to different music, but there is a shared there are a pool of shared songs that everyone knows, easy to sing along to, or easy to vibe or dance to.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't I feel most of it doesn't have to have a real message in it, or a meaningful message.